Call Bokor. Eji Bokor na Jonah na go. So break up. So go to your break up. Bokor Marina Celestino to feed Voncujovi, baby, Benjamin Cordell Badi. Did you? What's I even direct? What's I made a fellow? No, but you know what is it? Never way what don't you dodgy? Somewhere there. What's I knew? Yakwe, and you look. Actually, what's I done? Celestino, the be my winner, you make a dog. Hey, what's I done? Hey, what's I done? Actually, me got it. Let me tell you about your party. TJ. Bokor na Jonah na go. So break up. So go to your break up.
On behalf of AMD, we are saying you are most welcome.
That's it.
There's a can, which is what Medasi means.
Yeah.
But in this house, you speak more of Ewe or Ewe. So Akwe also means thank you.
Akwe.
Same time, yes.
Akwe.
All right. So,
All right. Let's thank you once again for coming to Bokor. You are most welcome. And, my bigger brother is saying you are welcome once again. And then what you know, what brought you here, and then why you came, and then what items you came to the shrine. So
we came to honor our ancestors. We came to learn first and foremost. We brought 6 chalices of gin, gunpowder, and we also brought two guys that are walking right now.
take it.
Unta,
Standing to receive Bokor Christopher Voncujovi of African Magic Temple.
Thank you very much.
You guys are most welcome.
Okay, I am Christopher. Still much taller than I am. Thank you very much, Reverend Africa, for bringing all of here today. Before we go on, I would like you guys to introduce yourself, each person, so that I know who is who, and then when I am addressing, I will know who I am addressing. Is that in place?
So,
Please, can you stand up and just introduce yourself, please?
it's all right. Okay, go.
resembles Kubolo. You know Kubolo?
Yeah, small.
Two more.
Yes,
I'm Keisha. I'm Wala.
Thank you all for coming, and you are welcome to my shrine and temple. And we will introduce ourselves to you so that you can know who you are dealing with. We'll start with a little one. This is Bokor Seto. Bokor means a priest. He's already a priest. He's already a full priest. He's only 7 years old, but he's already a priest. Bokor Seto. Mauli.
I am Voncujovi.
Who knows? Savior. Bokor Eche.
Yeah, go in there. Go.
Son of your father.
Go inside.
The son of your father.
Bokor Sarah.
They are my trainees. They are the people who work. Sometimes if I'm not here, they are working. Even if I'm here, they're the ones who do the readings and the rituals and everything. I just supervise and continue teaching them. So before we go to the gallery to watch the film, I'm going to pray for all of you. And then we have your napkins with your names. With your names on them. And I'm going to bring them out and then each person will have their own. I think there is only one person among you that, because of the timing that we were giving the names, was so short, especially when we wanted to give the local names, was so short that they couldn't finish weaving them. But they told me they've sent it, it's on the way coming. I don't know whether we will receive them before you leave from here, but it will come. And when it comes, I'm going to see Wala and make sure I'll give it to her to give to who doesn't have. And we're lucky to be meeting you people again on August 12th.
Oh yes, we're going to the museum on the way to Ada.
I'll be there
Yeah.
to do the prayers at the museum. So anyone who hasn't got in their own today, for sure you'll meet me again. Thank you very much.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when he's done with the prayers and we're going into the gallery to see the movie, I'll kindly request all of us to be in a single file. It makes it easier to walk through the door. The door is not very wide, so nobody gets hurt.
Everybody sit down. Chair. Okay, we are now going to the main anchor of the house.
I think you're the man.
No. Young people want to get
Did not do this. Did not do this. Oh Santana, Gliver Dualo.
No, monsieur, oh Santana, Gliver. No, monsieur, oh Santana, Gliver.
Yo, Malahadura. Oh Santana, Gliver Dualo. Oh Santana, Gliver Dualo. Oh Santana, Gliver Dualo.
No, monsieur, oh Santana, Gliver. No, monsieur, oh Santana, Gliver. Meidare Butege, Usikele Mojibona, Irenama, Santo Kelly, oh, Yoraba, I say,
this is how we pour libation. A lot of people say they pour libation, but there's a whole lot of mistakes that people are doing. And say we are feeding our ancestors. But when you don't mention the name of the ancestor you are feeding, nobody receives your libation or your feeding. There is no one in the ancestral world called an ancestor. So when you are pouring libation, oh, my ancestors come and eat, there's nobody with the name an ancestor. Every ancestor had a name before passing on. And until you mention their name, you are not doing anything. You are just pouring drink for nothing. This is very peculiar in the diaspora. People just say, oh, my ancestors come and eat. My ancestors come and drink. Who are you calling? There is no one with the name an ancestor in the ancestral world. Each and every one of them has gotten a name. So when you want to feed your ancestors, you must mention their names one by one so they know who is feeding them, and you too, you know who you are feeding or pouring libation to. So I'm going to pour libation to my ancestors so that they can bless you all. Oh, I go Mauga. Oh, Mauga so bolisa, Maduabu. Mauga skitita, Maduabu. Mauga ese joto, ame joto. Sena nuamelo, ese tena nuame. Woman of baby, Doctor of baby. Woman of baby, maybe I'm Doctor of baby of real. Doctor of baby, maybe I'm woman of baby of real. Oh, ese popoliki, ese that cabia. Ese joto, ame joto. But you want to go Maduabu. But you should have for us, you can for us, Maduabu. You are Abraxas, Mayos, you are Greco Duabu. You are Greco Wajimukuna. Oh, Wesso, at all, Wesso, Mayomiano Zorgia, and you so back at you. Yala Fabana Famila, you're the one of Mayora, when I am Bama Joflo, for playing Bama Duadica. When I bring my temple, at the food, at the gas. Oh, my kind, but you're not kind, when you're kind, you're kind, you're kind, from a kind, you're kind, you're kind, and you are kind. But remember, I had no luck over you. Yes, about you. My young men are all the walk up for me. Zango, I am going to bring up. May you drop my cat, John Maku. afọkẹ́mẹ́ bọ̀ọ̀lù wọn ni tìmẹ́ bọ̀ọ̀lù fún dòwò ẹgbẹ́ yóò kọ́ kúrò kú àtọ́lẹ̀ pọ̀fọ́mẹ̀ jọ̀gbẹ́ yóò fi ẹbẹ̀ jọ̀gbẹ́ yóò tó àyà mọ̀ ọ́n yóò tó a alukọ́rẹ́ pé bẹ̀ yín ó lè fẹ́ mi gbẹ̀tọ́ ọbàjọ́ túnṣe ọkùnrin lù ọmọ náà ọ̀tẹ̀ fẹ́lẹ̀ káwọ̀ jọ̀pàtà bẹ́yẹ̀ lè àti èjò fún ọbàjọ́ yìnyín jọ̀pàtà ọ̀fẹ́ fìyà jọ̀pàtà mẹ́tírọ̀ mi gbé dáàmú ro àbí fagbẹ́ wíyé nìyà jọ̀pàtà nínú ayín àbí mi àjọ ló jọ̀pàtà jọ̀pàtà mẹ́yọ̀ ẹ̀yìn àtẹ̀fẹ́ mẹ́yọ̀ wà mẹ́sì mẹ́ gbọ̀ ọ̀jìrì o tó tọ́gbẹ́ dẹ̀ǹtẹ̀ àbàpẹ́ lùlùtì zùgbó lu àjìmà ẹ̀gbọ́ àjìmà pẹ́ ẹ̀dọ́ ọ̀jọ̀ la lè fẹ́ kọ́mẹ̀ valenti bàbá mi lo balo john akpẹ́fò ago sapatẹ́ mẹ́yọ̀ àti gẹ̀rí mẹ́yọ̀ gbọ́rọ̀ gbẹ̀dú mẹ́yọ̀ ra kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́ àlàáfíà ẹ̀ mẹ́yọ̀ mẹ́gà sẹ́sẹ́ gẹ̀jà pàpà sẹ́sẹ́ sẹ́sẹ́ tọ́gbẹ́ gẹ̀jẹ̀. Now I'm going to call my ancestors. First, I pray to the entities that I work with. People call them voodoo, people call them spirit, people call them gods. Whatever you call them, it does not matter. They are just entities in the universe. If you can connect with them, they work with you. They partner with you. So those are the entities I had called earlier. Now I'm going to call my ancestors. Oh, my dog, you're talking about Papa says, oh, my Brahini, my Bochi, my young Foli, Bo, Foli Coco, Moneke, Gomli Godo, Kuja Kuma Komlaga, Ivakwaka, Kuto Manefana, Bobore, and I go on the Fana. My Attorney Kosopoku, Akubia, Yodonia, Akoso, Agoku, Polo Coco, Tassin Yamosi, Pusi, Yamkosa, Brako, Brahman, and Bodrin, Batakoy, Agoku, Kofi, Tagonia, Akubia, Mensa, Doria, Mepekuno. Harina mi kuto menefana mi bobore oyo kuonya Celestine ya wa kubia Katrina kubia fonya sense kwado fonya ya Ben kubia kuto menefana mi oyo mi asro ewo mbo atufwe akubia oyo Cecilia akpene eka tefe mensa kuto menefana mi o yemeyo awono tuji Bokor tuji togbe tuji oyo ra okini pasa se pele dagbe bara tu bara Ana okete meyo Bokor atafi so so bamu agbovi Bokor atacha ajoge kuto me fana mi gbogbo re na gbogbo re fana mi lo meyo hunu le vapo hunu le egbe abega to gbe ma se kuto me fana gbogbo re meyo to gbe anani pletu le jita to gbe Abraham jibenu le chanu meyo to gbe Kiato Simon Kabile, Abenyasi Agodime, Oyo Daniel Evie Kumare, le Agbaro, le Nigeria, le Kuto Manefana, Bobore, and Agbon Nefana. Natefe, the communion Atata, Oyo Trevi Bio, Brahim, Bio, Kudia, Bio, a better second Bio, but they Mapa, and no Kuto Manefana. A boy gave me a batonia, Nungwa Teshi. Again, no something, but we talk about I mean, when on one you are for me at all. Mayo Abochi Sacra, Cabot, right Africa to America over to me ago everybody be for hara ile dagbe la me se se gba go che Clever bi le ke be fu ato ba de o bua lo Clever bi omi yo e mi fu ere se di se tula o awo do boli che tula o awo do che na ula Police tula we na una bo eche na una Body change to the way now. I'm going to follow. Birthright Africa should grow and grow and grow. And let all the Africans of African origin should come back home.
Guys, we'll follow Papa's lead. Papa.
Okay, so we are going to lead us into the gallery. So we follow what is your Tony, for people who go you go also for people. Okay, this is a very short documentary that Middlebury College in some of the lecturers and some students to come together and establish our shrine in the world. I used to keep it to me and my children, but then it's now public to everybody. So please enjoy the movie. Thank you.
Even though I know our forefathers did so much, but I personally do not believe them.
No, it's not about it is our tradition. So it is a good thing for Africans.
Judaism is something you can use it to charm somebody or use it to kill someone. So as for Judaism,
there's some traditional way for some of the people to also worship it, but it's not good because they can use also to kill, to spoil things, and also they can use also to make money. All is not good.
Traditional West African spiritualism, known commonly as Voodoo and pejoratively as Juju, is a subject of debate and no small amount of stigma within Ghana. I have been training to be a Voodoo spiritualist, or Bokor, for the past 8 years. My first teacher is my father, Christopher Voncujovi, Bokor, who runs his own shrine in Accra.
People don't understand spirituality. The African is the only one who knows about every religion in the world except their own religion or their own tradition. You just tell it's evil. That's their only answer. They'll tell you, oh, it is evil. It is satanic. Finish.
Beginning in the late 15th century, Europeans established trade posts on the west coast of Africa, brutally subjugating much of the indigenous population into the slave trade. In the late 17th century, colonization occurred in southern Africa, followed by the rest of the continent at the end of the 19th century. These imperial forces were eager to control not only regional economies, but also regional cultures, especially religion. Christianity was imposed through force, missionary campaigns, education, and even healthcare. Labeled primitive and even satanic, traditional spiritual practices were condemned by the colonial masters. This disdain of local spirituality persists to this day.
Africans have been so indoctrinated to the point that they don't look at their own knowledge and wisdom that have been passed on by their ancestors, but they are just following the oppressor, thinking that whatever comes from the foreign land is better than what we have here. We have gold, we have diamond, we have bauxite, we have timber, we have almost all the natural resources in our country. Yet still, we are the poorest of the poor. How and why? It's because we are forgotten about our tradition.
When my father expresses this indignation about forgotten traditions, I know that he is talking about the sense of community and solidarity that is characteristic of West African culture. I know he is saddened by how much that sense of community has been damaged by Africa's oppressors.
So a lot of like the spiritual practice is around family, because I think in many African cultures, family is one of the most important things, because that's how you survive. And some of these rituals really help create that sense of society, and that's something that I really value.
Another core value of Voodoo is the veneration and respect for nature.
Does it mean something?
The belief in the spirits inhabiting nature has been decried as superstitious, but to me, this aspect of Voodoo has particular resonance in our current era of environmental crisis.
We need to know herbs. We need to know the combination of different herbs. For this sickness, what herbs do you combine? In African traditional belief, we believe nature is God, and God is nature. It's nature. All the trees, animals, plants, water, rivers, whatever you see is what from God. We respect God by respecting nature.
When I was growing up, I didn't really think about the environment, to be very honest, but more and more I start to realize how intertwined my practice is with nature and the environment, that practicing African spiritual practice makes you want to protect the environment more, because if you destroy all the herbs and all the plants, then all our practices goes useless.
So if you see God in nature and see nature in God, you will respect the word. You will not just go cutting down trees. You will not just killing people. You will not just go killing animals for fun.
We don't believe in the killing of animals just for the sake of killing. It should be for some meaningful purpose. And so the whole animal is used after sacrifice.
misconceptions about voodoo is that its practitioners lack respect for life. Many Ghanaians believe in the potency of voodoo practices, but fear them because they associate the power to summon nature spirits with the power to kill or cheat others. The film industries in both Africa and the West encourage this interpretation.
Interview me, ask me whatever you want to ask me, and I'm here to answer you. I've been in this tradition on my own for the past 40 years. So ask me anything, and whatever I know, I'll tell you. Yes, go ahead.
Are you familiar? I'm sure you are familiar with the New Orleans area and the Voodoo community down there. Have you ever been down?
I've never been to New Orleans, but I'm familiar with the voodoo practices in New Orleans. Yes, I am familiar with that, but I have never been to that part of America yet. But I've had people contacting me, and I work for people. Okay. You can take your chairs so that you can face me. So it makes it more easy. Yes, no, I'm calling you Jide.
That's my nickname.
That's your nickname.
Can you explain to us the significance of the vest that you're wearing?
Practices, voodoo practices, and in any spiritual practice apart from modern Christianity. there are always, and there had always been, talismans. When you go into the Old Testament and you look at the Jewish priests, they had all these talismans that they wear, headbands they wear. What it does is that it lifts your vibration from normal, mere human being to a higher form. So when you are dealing with God or gods or spirit, it makes them easier to relate to you. So that's what talisman does. So this is one of the talismans that was made for me by my cousin, and this is Arabic as well as Jewish and some African mixed together.
Okay, your first name is Christopher, right?
Yes.
Which is a Christian name.
Yes.
What made you evolve from?
Okay.
Because my guess is that you may have started with Christianity as a young
Definitely.
One. So how did you evolve into who you are now?
Very good question. I was born into a Christian home. My father was a Protestant from the Presbyterian Church, and my father was involved into building the church. My mother was a Catholic from the Roman Catholic Church, but my grandfather was a traditionalist. So when my father went to school, because in those days, before you can have an access to education, Western education, if you are not a Christian, they will not let you go to school. So my grandfather, thinking that the future of his children, he allowed them to become Christians so that they could go to school. And from there, my dad went to school and he was a little bit influenced with Western education and Christianity, so he was much involved into the church. Whereas my grandfather at the time was still doing his shrine and traditional practices. So we were born into Christianity, so we were baptized Christians. But as I grew up in the church and all this, I was not having the kind of satisfaction that I wanted from Christianity as a religion. So I moved into many other things before finally coming back to settle into what my ancestors did. I was once a Hindu monk. I was in India. I went to training in Benares. I don't know how many of you know have ever heard of Benares. Varanasi. Varanasi is like the Mecca of Hindus, the most holiest city in Hinduism. So I went to training in Varanasi, where I was trained and I became a monk. And I was in charge of Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia as a regional monk. Wow. Before so many things, and then I found myself in Japan. And I found myself in Japan because I'm also a professional international magician and illusionist.
Surprise.
So this is how I found myself in Japan, because I was contracted to go and perform shows in hotels and nightclubs in Japan, and I found myself there, and then finally I ended up staying in Japan for 10 years. I got married to Japanese and have my children, Senna, as you heard him speaking, and the junior brother, Pele. Yes. 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 Big brother, I call. Can you direct the questions, those who are putting their hands, so that I can know?
Oh no, she was waiting at Senna.
Okay. Okay. Senna is there. Yes, he's watching from Japan. He's in Japan now. Yes, my brother, come on. Yes.
Stephanie, I was wondering if there's a significance with the gin and using specifically gin for the shrine.
You mean the white cloth?
Yes.
Not the gin.
The gin. Yes, you know, gin or alcohol in general is called spirit, right? A lot of people forget about that name. That is called spirit. So when you are connecting with spirit, you must use spirit to connect with them. That's why we use gin. Sometimes people use vodka. People people use schnapps and all this thing. But the best one that we use in Ewe traditional spirituality or Voodoo is a white-based, clear drink like this type that it has not got any color. That's what we use to pray to the spirits and the ancestors. We human beings can drink any kind of color, but we pray to the ancestors with a very plain one to show the purity of our hearts towards the ancestors. Yes.
I was interested in knowing your beliefs around life and death and like the transition of it, just a little more in detail.
About life and death, we have something we call se. And the Yorubas call it ori. But then the Abes call it se, jobe se, destiny. Each and every one has a destiny. And we came into this world with our destinies, choosing for us where to be born, who should give birth to us, and where we should be placed so that we can have potentials to be able to develop ourselves when we are in this lifetime. So when one dies, it's only the physical body that dies, but your inner self, which is the Hindus call it Atman, does not die. It remains the same. And it depending on how you develop yourself in this lifetime, that's what will determine where you will go, where you will be placed, whether you be a black person or a green person or a yellow person or a white person, whether you be an African or born in another part of the world. It is your destiny who will determine that by the work you do in this lifetime. So when one dies, your destiny or your ascent will be waiting to have another opportunity to life, so that they can have more experience and grow, trying to get to the higher, which we call God. So when you die and your destiny is waiting to be born, when a man and a woman have sex, if these two people's vibrations and waves are equal to the vibration of that bodiless soul, it will travel into the futures and lifestyle taking place, and one day you'll be born. Yes, questions should come.
I'm still processing what you just said, and also the fact that it's Destiny who asked that question.
Destiny, yes. Yes, she is Destiny. She asked that question.
So I have two questions, but just off of what you just said. So does it relate to reincarnation of the soul, what you're speaking of, and why is it that we in the physical life, if we're developing this soul, do we not remember the soul that may have come forth from the
It is not
previous?
It is not very easy for you to remember when you are just in the beginning. But as you grow, you have dreams. When you have dreams, sometimes in your dream you visit places that you believe or you think that you had been there before. While your body is lying down on the bed, means your soul, your inner self is traveling back to certain places. And in these dreams and these experiences, then you will know that you had not been here. This is not the first time of you being here. But how to process that and know what to do and then follow your past life's journey is where the key is. And that's what Voodoo touches on. We all are individuals. No two people have the same destinies. Just like the fingerprints. No two people have the same. So your destiny is your destiny. My destiny is my destiny. It is up to me to discover it somewhere along the way and continue where I left off.
So the evolution, you're
Yes.
continuing evolution
Yes.
of the soul.
Yeah, we
before
even
you.
believe that animals, after some time, will enter into human body. But their behavior will be more of animalistic nature. The human being will behave more like an animal than human being, and after interacting with the physical world and people, after some time, when that person dies and comes back, then they become human because they've had experience of human being. Yes, come first.
Sarah,
Sarah,
I just
yes.
was wondering if there's like, you think that dreams could also tap into the future as well as in terms of the past?
They do.
Okay.
Dreams tap into the future and sometimes talk about the past as well. So that's what Voodoo is all about. When we talk about Voodoo and you get initiated into Voodoo, it depends on what Voodoo wants to work with you. There are entities in the universe. Some of them nobody has even contacted them before, but they are all there. You may be the first person that that entity will contact, depending on the vibration that you are emanating, the wavelength that your soul and your physical doings are doing, and then that entity may be attracted to you and wants to work. And that's what we call Voodoo. You know, the word Voodoo is an Ewe word. I am an Ewe, it's an Ewe word meaning spirit. So Voodoo is not anything than saying spirit. But then people created it to look as if it's a religion. Voodoo is not a religion, it's a way of life. Each and everyone has their own way to approach the divine and deal with the divine, because you don't know which energy will be attracted to you or which energy you will attract.
Is there ever a fear that it could be like a bad energy? Like
In life there is good energy and there is bad energy. But it depends on how you as a person is handling it, just like the documentary of saying like a knife. Knife is not a bad thing. But in the hands of a wrong person, it becomes evil. And in the hands of a good person, it is good. Same it is with a gun. Gun is made to protect you and defend you. But in the hands of the wrong person, it becomes evil. It becomes a killing tool. But a gun is innocent. Gun on its own is an innocent thing. So whoever holds it is the one that you have to look to and blame or praise. So that's how Voodoo is. That's what spirit is. When you get in touch with spirit and you're connected to spirit, it is you as a person. If you are a good person, you will use it for the good of yourself and for other people. But if you are a bad person, you will use it to attack other people. So this is what it is. So the spirit of Voodoo by itself is not a negative thing. But I think when the Europeans came to Africa and saw this, they were scared, because in Voodoo, people can tell you, people can make you to get sick today. People can even wish that you should, when you get out of the gate, a car should knock you, and truly a car will knock you, and you will be dead. That force is so mighty and tremendous that the European felt so afraid of it, and then they have to find ways and devise means in order to discourage our people from getting into it by saying it's evil. If a Voodoo priest can call rain from the sky and the rain will fall even though the skies are dry, or rain is falling and the Voodoo priest can look into the sky and tell the sky that, please, rain, hold on for me until I want you to come, and truly the rain will hang up there. No one can ever do this. It should only be the devil. It should only be the devil, because we are following God, but we cannot do this, and then you can do that, you are following the devil. But then nature is powerful. If you are able to know how to handle it, you will be powerful too.
So may I ask two questions?
Do.
Okay, the first one is I know that sacrifice, animal sacrifice, I'm familiar with it in Abrahamic traditions. What is the role of it in this one? Part A. And then part B is I still want to know what happened after you were a monk and how you're here now.
Okay. So let me take one at a time. You see, in Voodoo practices or traditional African spirituality, whether it is the Ewe one, the Nigerian one, or Congo, or South Africa, just mention anywhere, and not only limited to Africa, anywhere in the world. Animal sacrifices had always been there, even in European culture. And in the past, there were even human sacrifices. When you go to the Mayans of the Machu Picchu, and all these people, they do sacrifice human beings and animals. What was the essence of that was they believed and know that when the spirit leaves the body is gone, but the spirit is not dead. And they send the spirit on a mission to go and tell the unseen energies what they want to communicate. Because no one has ever seen God or any spirit before. But we know they exist and we know they are around us. And who can contact them directly? It's only your spirit that can contact them. So in Voodoo, when we kill animals, the Voodoo or the spirit takes that energy of life of the animal being sacrificed to empower itself and work for you. This is the purpose of blood sacrifices in African traditional spirituality. The same thing in Abrahamic, Yom Kippur, and all this thing, they are killing animals in Islam. They are killing animals. But when it comes to Africans, once we kill even a chicken, oh, it is deadly. Other people can kill anything because they are major established religions, then they are okay. But once a Voodoo priest kills a chicken, you are doing evil, you are doing a devilish act. It is just time for the Africans to, people of African descent to know that our tradition was not evil. We were misled to believe and think that we were not fit to worship God unless we worship the gods of other people. And it is true that the gods of the victors usually become the god of the nations. And the people who are victims, their gods become devil. It is already known. So when you are conquered, your gods become devilish. And those who conquer you, their gods become your god and they become supreme. That's why the European god would be spelled with capital G, O-D, and then the local god would be small g, O-D. Who set that status quo to say that your god should be spelled with a small g, and why the Europeans' god should be spelled with a capital G? Is that clear to all of you?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. So we've been misled to believe that we are not worthy of worshiping God. We are always supposed to be servants. Whether you're a Muslim or Christian, is the same thing. The Arabs also look at black people like servants. The Europeans look at black people as servants. Just because we were not able to keep our own and hold on to it and pass it on to our generations. This is where we have fallen short. But with this time, with the modern age, there's a whole lot of changes that's happening. And it may take years, hundreds or 200, 300 years, but we will get there. We will definitely get there. It may not be in our lifetime, but we have already started the ball rolling. And your second question that I was a monk, and then how come I become a Voodoo priest? Okay, I was a monk for about 10 years, and I was a celibate monk for that matter. But what I was actually looking for, my inner self craved for something more powerful, not just belief system, not faith. Something that I can be in charge of and something that I can control. I wish, and my wish should happen. I don't want to believe it that it will happen. I want to know that it is going to happen. And it is that has taken me from the monkhood. So I decided not to be a monk anymore. And they tried everything to convince me, because I was a good monk too. So they wanted me to remain, but I said no. So I finally got married. In Ghana, so I went back home, and then I met my old man, and he started teaching me about our tradition. And it's for spirituality, you don't need to convert people. It's only in religion that people are converted.
Yes.
In spirituality, everybody comes at their time.
You don't want to believe, you want to know. I guess that concurs with, like, if you
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. And then those of you who are living in Accra, a happy raining evening for you all, because it's raining here heavily. It's not small. And some of you, when we may be transmitting, will be having some challenges in the network because it's heavily raining. It started earlier, and there were breakages, but our engineers, technical officers were able to fix it. We don't know when we are transmitting now whether it will still be having those hitches, but whichever way, we are here. Thank you all for waiting and having the patience. We are going to start today's transmission, and I'm going to pour libation and after the libation, we will continue. Thank you very much. And those of you who do not know how to pour libation, please watch me pour libation. I think the libation bowl is still upstairs. Shout to somebody, don't go there. They're not doing anything. Call them to bring it. It's not like you have to go there. They're just sitting down talking. At the end of the day, if they cook food, they will all chop. So they should do some work. There's nothing wrong with that. I think our logo, which camera is showing it that it is not complete. It will come full.
Yes.
Okay. Because on the TikTok it's okay. Oh no, don't go. They have to pick. Wait. Hold on. I'm going to call Tara. And they are just not doing anything. We are working. They cannot just sit down there. Don't go. So it's not that they are doing anything. Call Maori. They're not doing anything. They're either watching TV and just being there. It's not the way, because you can call Tony.
I called, he didn't pick.
Yeah, Maoli. Bia Tony kwe Maoli na all over phone. You on kayo yo mele pico. Mini de ni jime ni me do agbera dale. Enu ale polonji de mi lo yo pete o ga lese Said ne ga to le fia.
Kofi mo LFI go phone is that. Okay, okay go now.
It's not very sharp.
We are using a sharp on the internet, but for the Starlink, because of the
rain.
Yes, so we are using the MTN 4G to transmit.
The Starlink is not coming well.
It's coming back because of the rain. It's low.
The speed is low.
Yes, so we are using
the 4G.
Yes, to transmit. So that one is
the one in the house.
No, please.
You are using it from your phone.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. But to view it, because we don't want to put too much load on the 4G, we are using the Starlink to view. So it's not too.
So it's because of the Starlink is blare.
Yes.
Okay.
It will get.
Sina Kofi bene man no fine pere Saidu.
It's okay.
Viewing.
Yes.
Okay.
Sharp.
On 4G.
Yes, please. I'm using my data to watch it.
Okay.
Yes, but this one, because of the weather, so the Starlink is not too.
By me, I didn't know that Starlink also have problem with weather.
They usually don't have, but I think this weather is.
It's a bad weather. Okay, so let's go. Oh, I go. My dog goes yet, Tom. Your mauga sobolisa, my mauga kitikata, my mauga say. I say Joto, I'm a Joto, a senanu, I'm a setenanu, I'm a woman of heavy, docon of heavy, woman of heavy, maybe an docon of heavy, bueno, docon of heavy, maybe an woman of heavy, well, send you my yoma dwago. Moyo sheme ham for a shop, semi for a shop, table do go, ya braxas, meosi, adrepo do go, yata dreto bevimo kuno, o verso aton, o verso reka, moyo maduago. Me yo, me no zoje, and you zoka kachikas boja, dreaming of a benya quibby and you home moyo rakel, when ya in bama, you for a focline bama duadica, when ya bring the tekulu, etega. Oh, my, I can't but you for kind, whatever kind of what kind of trouble, what kind of you kind of your kind, and you are tabaca, what kind. But if I remember, I had a door lock of them, don't you if you talk so much, don't you? We have new down, Miami Hobao, the walk up, walk with me, Zango, maybe believe you're like a wood job, but I job Maku. For coming for a module, chief for Voodoo, but you could quite tell for forming. Job when you have a job when you met I am your module, and quite a quick when you need a payment, but over your two of women, not a very job, but I have you form a job, but I have a fear. Jopata. Metrona magbeda molo avifagbe eliedi na jopata no anyi afimia ajolo jopata jopata yin atafe me yo mesime bo jiri tuta gbe de ntaba pelu ti zugbolu ajima ogboju polo doja lo fe nkome Valentine fafa me lo va lo jona pefu ago sapate me yo atigedi me yo goro me yo keke la afia me the this is blur me yo amagasa segeja papa sesen the sister we geja ba ha. Oh, my Brahini, me over Bochi, my own fully come on a table, the kucha come on and got when you put over a fanamilo. Oh, my Tony Cosapoco, queer no Mary, a cosa of Gufuni of Gage, Tassinia Mosi, Fusi, Jam Cosa, Black of Ramman, and Bodin, but Tobina Coffee, Tobina Kubia, and some mamma and Durapin, the Pecuno Kuto and a fanam. The opinion Celestia, Wakuya Katrina, Kubia for us and Sabadofonia, Ben, Akubia Kuto and a fanamilo. A ever yomias wrong, what church of Kubia, like when I cut the famines, Akuto and a fanamilo. Yo, I would not to you, Bokor to you, talk to you, your Kini has a point, but I so bad when I'm your Bokor, that is so far who will go with Bokor Facha job there, Kutum and Fanami. Yo, who know who live up, who know who live by a gato where Maza Kutum and Fanami. Yo, talk when I enter to the Gitato where Abraham, Jiven, Chamato, with Fiatosim, and Kavila, Pena, Sia, Cotim, Kutum and Fanami. Go. Hey, what happened? Hey, sorry. Baba now, sorry. Mayo, talk when I enter to the Gitato where Abraham, Jiven, Chamato, with Fiatosim, and Kavila, Pena, Daniel, Vipa, Manela, Baru, Kutum and Fanami. Yamaga Koku and Atovi and Kayima Kutum and Fano Bokor, Adafi Sofa, Bokor, Komla, Azuma, Agbovi Kutum and Fanami. Mayo happy, Akosa Baji Kutum and Fanami, Harsi, George, Ajobu Kutum and Fanami. Mayo, Trevio, Brahim, you could be a very you could give the Bachonian, Wateshi, Martin, Mate to Carpenter Road, Opoigono, Spinters Road, over to Kutum and Fanami. Yo, Abochi Sakrakama to Ave Adogo, Okotokoliro, Uncle, our Kunumaku, or Agbanana, Toba Yuale, Acho, Ofranta Mani of 15 Kurabisinkra or Kofito Jabaku, Ocho to Akofito Hand, Coffee Atra, Cable Bodogo, let me happy Hala Matahala, Mayomi, Canupetaman, a ball, Adru, Mayomi Apete Sasalo, Manupetaman, or Yotoba Batolo, Dagbe. Yama yo tobe bilimdo ko chojima ko abeja na be kono ko achine tu na bilimdo ko na bilimdo na bilimdo yo to pechu manyamli ami yo kologo hoko tichia yo gogli be si to no pe me yo fana go nu afabo maje so pepe to mo so le me da pe avidi me yo kwali gbe meji eku meji woli meji di meji lo so meji ngoli meji abla meji akala meji guda meji sa meji ka meji trupe meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji woli che tula me yo Club vile kama kwa toba do bwa la toba de nyade mapo endi tula gbogem kwa harain lo dagbe. Yes, let's go. Okay. Enlarge it a little bit so that I should be able to get okay, there's somebody saying Maati Outset, say share page. They want to share it? They share the page. Okay, then we have Marcus Mosiah on African Magic Temple or the ReVodution Voodoo?
ReVodution.
On ReVodution Voodoo Education saying, good evening, Papa. Thank you very much for your insightful teachings today. Thank you very much, Marcos Mosiah. We are grateful that you joined us. We are thankful for everything. Then we are on African Magic Temple. There is someone here say Lupi Mendoza. What I say? What's that? I don't know what you are asking about. I'm sorry. And then on which one is this? YouTube. We don't have any this thing on YouTube. No, we have some two at the bottom. How do you get it up? It said someone to say hello, Togwe. Hello, Sammy. How are you? Thank you very much for joining. All of you, thank you for joining. Yeah. Okay, we are on TikTok, and we have a MFA Twister 86. Hello, MFA. I welcome. Say, Togwe, welcome home. What the message do you have for us from the ancestors? Oh, whatever I'll be teaching here is all the messages from the ancestors. You know, we as a spiritual people, we are not pastors. Honestly speaking, we are not pastors whereby people will tell you that God told me to tell you this, God told me to tell you that. We don't do those kind of, what will I call it, lies. There is no message that I got from ancestors than to pray to them and asking them to come to the presence and help me to be able to teach. I didn't have any message from them. To get messages from ancestors and the spirit world, I need to do a reading to contact them directly and say, this is what I want to find out. But just by praying and invoking them, they don't give me any message. Yeah, that's what it is. So we are not pastors where we tell you that God said you should say this, God said I should tell you this, God said I should tell you that, or I have a message from God for you. No, we don't do that. It doesn't happen. But nobody has seen God, so you can't just be walking and then God will just give you a message for somebody else. If you want to scratch the back of God to find out what is there, there's a process. And when we pass through that process, when there's a message, I'll give to you. But anyway, thank you very much, MFA Twister 86. Thank you for coming to the program. We are live on Clubhouse as well, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Facebook, African Magic Temple, and also ReVodution Voodoo Education. Thank you all very much for having the patience to wait. And then we have Luna Nicole, we say F1, FY1.
TikTok is glitching a bit.
So FYI or one. TikTok is glitching a bit. Kofi, I think
the TikTok is using the Starlink.
Is it?
Is the internet?
TikTok is using the Starlink, so that's why it is glitching.
Yes,
okay, so we are changing. Thank you very much, big sister. I don't know whether they are hearing me yet.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for giving us this. It is because of the Starlink internet we are using. It's having some challenges because of the rain. So we are changing it also to 4G and see if that will be a better thing. Is it okay now?
Yes, please.
Okay, so please let us know, big sister, if there's anything. Let's go back to the question. There's a question Big Sister Luna Nicholson. Big Sister Luna Nicholson, Papa, would you explain, please explain the difference between Abraxas, Akai, and Olodumare? They are all different energies. Abraxas is from the, what do you call it? It's, as I said, that it's a universal consciousness, and it actually is from the Kabbalah, the Jewish or Hebrew Kabbalah. That is where Abraxas teachings come from, and it is very much linked into the Jews' spirituality. That's Abraxas. Akai is an Ewe name for a spirit that I work with, which is from the sun sphere. And then Olodumare is a name from the Yorubas, how the Yorubas call God, or Mau, as Ewes will call it. So these things are all different entities and also from different cultural backgrounds. That's why their names are totally different. Yeah. Then Big Sister Luna Nicole said, blessing Papa and EMT family. I hope everyone is well. I'm grateful to join today's session. You are very much welcome to today's session. We are glad to see you here. Thank you very much. Yeah. And then we have Elom Sugar saying, hi, Togbi. Hello, Elom. How are you? Thank you very much for joining. And then we have a Big Sister Luna Nichols. I restarted my phone and missed your response to the question. Yes, I didn't answer the question before you restarted, because we were also trying to restart it to get to link with a different network that can let or make what do you call it, TikTok stop glitching. So you didn't miss the question at all. Thank you. And then we have a MFR Twister 86. With the elders after prayer, they have been say Amania. I haven't heard that word before, and I don't know what it means. Thank you very much, MFR Twister 86. And then Big Sister Luna Nichols, I'm going to try Facebook because TikTok is still glitching for me. Now we have changed the network, so I don't think it should be glitching. But if it is, please just let us know. It's raining heavily here, so we are having that challenge. And then MFAT said they have been saying Nyaka ne wo chotogwia wo bo Nyaka ne ho chotogwia wo bo. Yeah, those people who go ahead with that. I didn't get any message from any Togwi because I did not do consultation. If I did consultation, then I can tell you that this is what I have gotten. I'm a very realistic and very practical spiritual teacher, and if I did not get any message, I cannot tell you that I have a message. Yes, I know people just create things to make people happy. Just like I said earlier, people will see you and say, God told them to tell you something. Where did they meet God? And which God was talking to them? And how did God single them out and single me out that they should come and tell me? And what did God tell them about themselves? No, there are so many questions that remain unanswered. So when we are here, we are just being very, very practical and straightforward. If I consult the ancestors and you ask me what message did I get from the ancestors, I'll be able to tell you. But this one, I'm only pouring libation to ancestors. I wasn't consulting them to give me any message. And then we have a Sour Music saying location, Accra, Ghana. Then we have MFA Twister 86. He said, Tommy, can you please explain the meaning of the logo on your wall? I have explained it many a time, that our logo represents so many things. So for your sake, I will explain it one more time. But next time anybody asks me about my logo, I will ask the people to go back into my other earlier live sections, then they will find the explanation. The logo has a bracelet called Chambaga, which we christen as Togbe Jopata's bracelet. And who is Togbe Jopata? Togbe Jopata is one of the
patron deities of my shrine. I have worked with him for many years, and he is still very active working with us, and is one of the base spirits that support African Magic Temple. So this is his symbol when you are initiated into Tagwe Jokata. This is what we give you for protection, to actually to also to give you light, to show you and open your mind. So that is Tagwe Jokata. That's the bracelet you see in the logo. Then we have the axe. The axe is like a magic one, the authority for me to be a priest. And this was handed over to me by Togbe Tuji when I was finally initiated to become a priest in order to work through the spirits or work with the spirits so that I can help humanity. So that axe represents the authority that I was given as a priest. And then inside the logo, you will see cowries with you will see the Odu Woli Gunda or Wori and Gunda or Woli War Godo, as it is called in Ewe Afa, which simply means look back and look at your back or return to your roots. Woli War Godo. That's what the Odu means. The cowries with the eyes is telling people that we are actually seers. We see. We are diviners. We divinate and tell people about the future, the past, and the present. We are diviners. What would they say? Seers. Yeah, we are spiritual seers. That's what the eyes represent. And then, of course, on the axe, you see two triangles, inverted triangle, one going up and one going down. A lot of time people say it's a Star of David. In my logo, it does not represent the Star of any David at all. It represents a triangle. That means we are able to send information into the spiritual world, and then the triangle going down means we can also still draw information from the spiritual world. So it is a two-way traffic. One going up, just like how you download information, and also how you upload information. That's the meaning of the triangle, the two inverted triangles in the logo. So that is the logo of African Magic Temple in a very simple form. This logo was designed by my children themselves. My son Pele is a very good artist, and with his big brother Senna, they put their minds together. They designed our logo. They showed it to me, and then I gave the meaning to each thing that is there, because they know the things that we use at our shrine. So that is what it means. And the Twister 86, is it 83? MFI is 86. Okay. 86. Yeah, thank you. So we had, so MFI, that's the meaning of my logo. So you go back into my teachings for the past 7-8 years, you hear the same thing as I just told you. Yeah, thank you. And then we have a MMC Molato say, how are you and the members doing, Daddy? We are very good, MMC Molato. Thank you, and I hope you and your family too are doing well. Then MMC Molato again went, I'm grateful to be able to join your live today. You are very much welcome, MMC Molato, and we are also grateful that you joined the section today. Then Big Sister Luna Nicole, the signal is okay now, Papa. Okay, thank you very much, Big Sister, for giving me the feedback, because it was a network. We were using the Starlink internet there. Because of the rain, it was glitching, but now that we changed to a more stable one, 4G, it's getting better than before. Thank you very much. And then MFI Twitter said, God bless you for the explanation. I'm grateful that you asked a question and other people also will learn. Then Big Sister Luna Nicole said, thank you for answering my question. I like how you integrate. Let's move. How you integrate different beliefs. I do the same here. Thank you very much. Because knowledge cannot be limited to only one group of people. Knowledge is universal. So if you want to learn and know well, then you need to be what do you call it, to be universal. You don't hang on to one thing and say this is final. Unlike most of our religion, that if you don't pass through this particular entity or this particular human being, God will not love you. God is not a blind man, and God doesn't belong to anybody. He belongs to everything, not even only human beings, but to the whole universe. Thank you very much. And then we have Christopher the Cooker. Say, good evening, sir. What's the meaning of calling ancestors and then after my body will hurt and tire? I don't know. Honestly, I cannot tell that you call your ancestors and your body get tired and get hurt. I have never heard it anywhere before. So I cannot explain the meaning. I'm sorry. What I don't know, I don't talk about. Thank you very much. Then we have Tony B sending us 20 flowers. Is that Tony B Sanders?
No,
It's
our
not
photo.
It's not Tony.
It's Tony.
Are you sure?
It's him.
Are you sure?
See the picture.
That's Antonio Adams.
Confirmation.
Okay, we receive it. Thank you very much, Tony. And then we have Wisdom Ina saying hey, hello. And then Wisdom Ina say hello, Wisdom, how are you? Thank you very much for joining today's section. I'm grateful. And then we have that's all for TikTok now. Let's check if we can find any on the other platforms. And then Heru Asakara, I mean, say greetings, Baba. Hello, Heru. How are you? Thank you very much for joining today's session. I hope you and your loved ones are well. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Yes, click on the next one.
Okay, let's go to, what do you call it? Okay, before we go to TikTok, you can open the TikTok and then let me say something. Okay, I want everybody, okay, Sam is here. Samuel from Thailand, my nephew in Thailand, Sam is saying hello from Thailand, uncle. Hello, Sam, how are you? Thank you very much for joining today's section. I hope you are fine. I have been watching your videos these days. You are doing well. Keep it up. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. And then I want to use today to explain something about spiritual work. From January to, you see, the water entered the room. There's nothing you can do than to find something to put there. But why? They made the screening so that the water can go there. You see, like this one will be thinking that it came from underground. Yeah. So I'm using, I want to use this moment to explain something to some of my clients. For some time now, since January, from January to this May, we have done a lot of work for many people around the world. But then I have two people whose work that were done barely 6 weeks ago to 8 weeks ago, barely. And they are always complaining that they are not seeing any changes. In fact, I have done some people's work after I did their work, and people are getting results, and even some are trying to send in their Thanksgiving. So I don't know what is blocking theirs that they are not seeing results. But one thing I have noticed in spiritual thing is that when an oracle is cast for you during a reading, the oracle will tell you things that are happening in your life things that had happened in the past and also things that are yet to happen in the near future. At the same time, the oracle also normally gives some restrictions. Some may be food, and you'll be told that don't eat this food, don't eat that food, don't eat that food. Some also would be your own behavior or behavioral, what will I call it, restrictions. For instance, if the oracle of Afan tells you that you should try as much as possible not to be stingy. Yes, of course, many times people will say, oh, I'm not stingy. I'm a very generous person. It's not me who is saying that the person is stingy or should not be stingy, because I have never even met the person before. It is the oracle that was cast that is giving the advice. Stinginess may be that you may give money to people easily, but the way you cut yourself from people and want to make yourself very special so that people don't come closer to you, or you easily get irritated by other people's activities, could also be a form of stinginess. It means you don't want people to come into your circle. You want to be alone. You want to be you want to be alone, and you want to be free from other people's interacting with other people in many different forms. Somebody may be playing music to have happiness or to enjoy themselves. Then you get angry why they are playing music and they shouldn't disturb your peace and not. So some could be anything. So when an oracle gives you a restriction and tells you don't do this, don't do that, and if you don't control yourself and you still find yourself in doing such things, then what the oracle told you or whatever was done for you, and the oracle was only giving you a kind of a direction and restriction so that it could open doors for you. But if you still get yourself indulged and involved in such things, then you are actually blocking whatever the oracle had promised to do, or you had asked the oracle to do for you in the rituals. For these things to materialize, you will not see it as quickly as you expect. Because when the oracle is cast and the oracle gives you an advice, don't expect that only some parts of the advice that are important. You should not expect that only part of the advice is important. You should know that the total, please put the air conditioner on. You should know that the total of whatever is in the reading and in the ritual is what is supposed to be adhered to in order to give results. Sometimes I feel very bad when I do work for people and people think that I am God. That why is it that they are not getting results as if I were God? Because what I did is just whatever the oracle had told me and found in the ritual or in the reading is what I have done. I will not do less and I will not do more, because I'm not God and I'm not a spirit. And the same way that I had been advised by the oracle and I followed it and it is good for Mr. A, so shall it also be good for Mrs. A. There's nothing taken out. So if oracle gives you some restrictions or advice and tell you don't be this, don't do this, don't eat this, don't be out late, don't be out late at night, don't do that. All these things are the advices that the oracle is giving you. Oracle tells you don't eat red palm oil, don't eat okra, don't eat this kind of meat. Then all these are the advices that the oracle is giving you in order to help you to overcome your challenge. So if all these things are giving you and you are not following it, and you are thinking that, those things doesn't matter, and it is just something you can adjust yourself with. Don't expect to have a complete and total results of the items or the things that were done for you. Kofi na wana boba filo na akwara me. So that's what I want to put in place, because if I do work for people and the people are not successful, I worry more than even the people I work for, because I know 1 + 1 is 2. And if I put 1 + 1 together and you are not getting the result 2, then there's something somewhere here, something wrong somewhere, which I cannot tell unless I have to revisit the oracle and to find out why. Why is it that 1 + 1 is not adding up to be 2? But I had done it the way it has always been done and how I was taught. And I had always told people, I'm not God, I'm not spirit, I'm just a human being like any other of you or any other person, doing my best to connect with the spirit world in order to use it to help humanity. And I will not do any shoddy work for anyone. And I don't take people's money to take advantage of them or scam them. But do for power. But do for power. So that is what it is. So please, I'm careful. So that's what I wanted to say, because I feel very bad when people feel like, oh, you did work for me and it's not working. And sometimes people have had their problems maybe more than 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, even 1 year or 6 months, and that problem had been there. But they expect that when they come to you within a day or two, or within 1 month, within 6 weeks, within 8 weeks, the problem that they had had for a long time should just vanish like a magic. And I kept saying that traditional spirituality is not magic. It works on the principles of nature. When you grow corn, if it takes 3 days for the corn to germinate, don't expect that when you grow it today, it will germinate today. And when you grow a coconut, maybe it will take 3 years before it starts bearing fruits. But because you planted it and it's growing and it's not getting fruit in the first year, then immediately you think that that coconut tree is not going to bear fruit and you go and cut it down. It's only you who will lose. But whatever we do for people at African Magic Temple, we know it will work, because it has worked for many, many people. And it is only few people who will say that it didn't work. There was a case of a lady, I cannot remember her name, who asked for a reading to be done. And the reading was done, and it is only few things that were pointed out to her. She got angry and went on social media to say, we are scammers, we are liars, we are deceiving people, because whatever she asked for in the reading didn't come. And the reading was so short. We are not like the people who want to please you by doing a reading that we didn't get the information and we just try to tell you stories from our own imagination to make you happy. If my reading tells you that poverty is worrying you, I'll tell you that poverty is worrying you or is about to disturb you. If I see death around you, I'll tell you that I've seen death around you, so close the portal of death. I'm not going to see black, and because you pay me money, and then I'll start to tell you that everything around you is white. You are going to be a very rich person soon. No, I don't do those things. That's not the way I do my things. This work I've been doing it, if not for anything, at least for the past 40+ years, I've been doing this work, and I've been doing it around the world. I returned to Ghana in 1997. In 1997, we are in now 2025, right? So in 2 years' time, I will be 30 years when I return to Ghana. And I've been doing this work here. But I had been doing this work outside for almost about 20 years before returning to Ghana. So I know what I am doing, and I'm not here to take your money and deceive you. Whatever I see in an oracle, that's what I'll tell you. If I don't see anything, I'll tell you I don't see anything. That doesn't mean that I am deceiving you. And whatever I see is what I will tell you. So people who felt that I work for them within 6 weeks time or 2 months time, and they're not seeing result and start putting pressure on me as if I am God. I am not God. I just did what I'm supposed to do, and I believe and I know that it will come to an end. Thank you very much. If anybody has any question on this thing that I have spoken, you can ask me questions and we can continue from there. And then we have Why Rush. Say good afternoon, Uncle. Hello, Why Rush. How are you? Thank you very much for joining today's section. And then we have Kwaku Phillips saying hello. Kwaku Phillips, hello to you and your loved ones. Hope you are fine. Hope you are well. And then Anayao, say good evening, Daddy. Hello, Anayao. Good evening to you too. Thank you very much for joining today's section. And then, as I said earlier, my nephew in Thailand, Sam Samuel Akubia, say hello from Thailand. Say uncle. Thank you very much, Sami. Hope you are doing well. My regards to your mom and to your friends. Then we have Kwaku Philip saying good evening. Good evening to you, Kwaku Philip. And we have Tony B sending us 10 rose flowers again, and again sending us 30 rose flowers. Thank you very much, Tony B, for sending us. Then we have Kwaku Philip saying, how are you doing? I'm good, and I hope you are fine too. Then we have Abdullah Usman saying, may Mother Nature bless you. Thank you very much, Abdullah Usman. I'm grateful. And then we have a son of the sun 57 say greetings, and greetings to you too, a son of the sun. I'm very grateful that you joined. Thank you all very much. Please send in your questions, your comments, and everything, and we will attend to you. I'm grateful. That's it. Okay, so we don't have any more question after the son of the sun 57 saying greetings to us. Thank you all very much for asking the beautiful questions and sending your greetings and everything. I'm very grateful. And then we have Engineer Graham KG Wilberforce saying greetings. Greetings, KG Wilberforce. Kojo, how are you? I hope you are fine. My regards to everybody. And how is your mom? I don't know how far she is and what's going on. So if there's anything, you can send me a WhatsApp and let me know how her condition is. Thank you very much, Kojo. And then we have a son of the sun 57 say, please, why and how did African spirituality became evil? My brother, I don't know. I wasn't there, and my grandfather didn't tell me. My grandfather didn't tell me that it was evil. That's why I'm still following it. Then we have a Wisdom Doji TV saying, please, can we get your number? Our number is already in our profile. If you look in our profile, Africa Magic Temple on TikTok, Africa Magic Temple on Facebook, ReVodution Voodoo Education on Facebook, and on YouTube, you will find our number there. Our number is always there in our list. And then we have MFR Twister 86 saying, how can we keep our traditions relevant for today's generation? That's what we are doing. You keep your tradition relevant by practicing it, by getting involved into it, by understanding it, and then by testing it. Because when you are doing something and you don't test what you are doing to see whether it is real, whether it yields results, or it is just fantasy, you will not know the relevance. If you are practicing an African traditional spirituality and you are not gaining or you're not seeing the results of the things you want to change, and you still remain dormant and it's still adamant and you cannot see results, then you are not practicing the correct way. Because if you are practicing anything in life and you are practicing it in the correct way and with a correct understanding, and the teachers who have taught you the right thing, you should be getting results. The moment you are practicing anything, whether it's a Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Shintoism, or all the isms, Zoroaster, Baha'i, just mention them, and Jainism, including African traditional spirituality, whether you call it Afa or you call it a Voodoo practice or Orisha practice, whatsoever. If you are doing and you are not finding results or things are not changing in your life the way you expect them, then it is just the same like any other thing like religion. Then you are not practicing it properly, or you were not taught properly, or you do not understand what you are practicing. But when you are practicing anything and you are seeing results and you are seeing physical changes, and when you ask the spirit world and the spirit world answers you and give you direction and you follow the direction and you see results, then you know you are in the right place, and then you know you are doing the right thing. So anything that you are doing, try to test it and see whether it is working. Experiment with it and experience it. Then if you are able to experiment and the experience comes to you positively, then you know. And even if it comes to you to negatively, you will know. So African traditional spirituality is not based on faith and belief. It is based on understanding, practicality, and experiment, which will give you experience. So you don't do things just because everybody is pouring libation and you are pouring libation, but you are not seeing any result. You must find out what is the proper way of pouring libation. And then if you keep pouring libation for some time in the proper way, you begin to see results. Because a lot of people want to pour libation and they say, oh, my ancestors, come and have a drink. There is nobody in the ancestral world called my ancestors. And there is nobody in the ancestral world with the name ancestor. Each and everybody who died had a name. Apart from those who were not given names and they died through premature or any other thing, then these people didn't have names. But however, even though they did not have names, because the people who gave birth to them before they died premature or they were stillborn babies and they did not succeed, the parents know that this was a child, a male child or a girl child, and the parents have the idea of such a being, even though they may not know what name. Probably they had suggested a name for the child before the child was miscarried. That name automatically could be used for that child. And it is okay. But then by pouring libation, so my ancestors come and drink. My ancestors come and have a biscuit. It doesn't work that way. And people thinking that they just put their ancestor picture on their table or their altar and fetch water and put in front of the picture, and then that means they are saving their ancestors. You are not doing anything. You are not doing anything at all. When you want to feed your ancestors, ask them what do they want through a reading. Their ancestral well will communicate and tell you, we want this. And when you are pouring libation to your ancestors, mention their names, that I call Kojo Kuma, come and drink. Kofi Mensah, come and drink. Daniel Ben, come and drink. That's the people who, the name they were having before they died. So call them by those names and give them drink, and they will accept it for you. But by just saying, oh, my ancestors, because I've seen people say they are feeding their ancestors, and then they break few biscuits, put in on their so-called altar in front of a picture, and then they think that the ancestors come and eat. It doesn't happen that way. African traditional spirituality is a practical thing, and it has some rules and regulations and a formula to follow. If you don't follow those formula, you are just pouring a drink on empty ground. Nobody is accepting it. The only thing that could happen is that maybe some spirit will be passing and is thirsty, will drink and it will be gone because it doesn't know you, you don't know them. Just like how animals will be passing, a dog will be passing and see some water gathered somewhere, you just go and drink and walk away. Whether it's you who put it there or it's not you who put it there. Yeah, it was thirsty, he drank and it's gone. So if you want to have results from your pouring libation or feeding your ancestors, follow the proper code and direction of how ancestors are fed and how libation is poured. Then you will see results. So when you are doing something and you are not seeing results, then the thing you are doing is not complete. And there is no one in the ancestral world called ancestor. And those people who have been saying that they are pouring libation, and a lot of people are walking by and watching them and they didn't like it, and they saw their ancestors flying in the air, passing by. I've never seen such kind of things in my life before. But some people, they say they saw their ancestors passing by when they are pouring libation. Those people too are there. But those of us who have been in this tradition for long, we know the proper things that happen when you do the proper, if you follow the proper way of doing things. That's what traditional spirituality is. It's not based on faith. It is not based on belief, but based on practicality and results. Thank you very much. And then we have MFA Twister say, are there any traditional beliefs or customs that have been misunderstood or lost over time? I cannot tell. What I came to meet is what I follow. Whether there were some beliefs and this thing that have been lost over time, I did not meet them. So if it has been lost before I came into this world and my teachers didn't teach me, I don't have a problem with that. What I was taught is what I follow. See, sometimes a lot of people get themselves involved into things that they cannot control. So MFA, supposing there were some ancestral customs that have been misunderstood or lost over time, if you did not meet them, so you didn't meet them. Are you going to go and wake up your grandfather from the grave and say, tell me what was there before I was born? No. What you came to meet and the people who teach you, if they are good teachers, follow that. Because the teachers who are teaching you, if they themselves have had practical experiences over time, they will teach you. Unlike someone who may only have a hearsay and be teaching and talking as if they had had any personal experience. Those are also there. There are plenty of them on the social media who are just creating havoc and creating all this thing just to mess people up. Find a good teacher and learn from them. And then when you learn the right thing, you will see the results, practical and physical. That's what I know, and that's what I teach. And then MFI Twister 86 went on to say, how should we respond when modern religion or global culture conflicts with our tradition values? You don't have anything to respond to, because traditional spirituality is an individual and a personal thing. It is not something that you have to wear things on your body plenty and be walking around before people know that, hey, this person is practicing African traditional spirituality. Like most of the people I have been seeing wearing so many beads. They have not even been initiated into any Orisha, but they wear beads and they wear things and special kind of clothing to make people think that they are following traditional spirituality. You don't need to compete with anybody, and you don't need to fight with anybody over your cultural values. You have your cultural values and they are only privately known to you. And when you follow it, is anybody going to stop you from following your own cultural, traditional values? Supposing you are Ewe, which you are MFA. If you cook a play and you want to eat it with Fetrideshi, and somebody from Europe who does not know how to eat akple and who does not know how to eat Fetrideshi, what is the conflict? There's no conflict. It's after all, when you eat it, it's going into your stomach and your stomach is going to be satisfied and be happy. The person from another culture, maybe they are used to eating pizza or lasagna or whatever. Eh? If they today eat lasagna or eat pasta or eat pizza, they are satisfied. That is their culture. You don't have any conflict with them. You as an African or as an Ewe person or an African, if you cook ugali and you put the ugali inside, you want to eat your ugali with nyama choma, you want to eat your ugali with that one, it is up to you. Ugali is what the Kenyans call akple. And then this nyama choma, which is chichinga in Kenya or in the East Africa. If you want to eat your akple with chichinga, who will stop you? If you eat it and your stomach is satisfied, you are fine. So there is no conflict with your traditional values at all. It is you who have to know what your traditional values are and follow it to the late to be able to know what to do. So don't feel that people will be competing with you or you are trying to prove to people that you are doing this and then the people disagree, then you start to have a problem with them. It shouldn't be that. It should never be that. Because in reality, traditional spirituality is a private issue, or the worshiping of God in general is a private issue. You know, if we should go into the Bible where Jesus Christ said that it is only the Pharisee who go into the corners of rooms or go to the rooftop and be shouting the name of God so that people will know that they are worshiping God. You know who is a Pharisee? A lot of time people thought the Pharisees are a tribe or an ethnic group. Pharisees are people who modern English call hypocrites. If you are a hypocrite, you go to church, you are shouting, you are dancing and let people know that you are worshiping God. Even in your house, you are dancing and singing godly song. People should know that you are godly, but your head is very dark. Inside your mind, you are a very dark person. Inside your heart, you wish evil for people. Such kind of people are the ones who go on the street and trying to make people, even if you are sleeping at night, they will come and wake you at dawn and start shouting that Jesus Christ said, this is the way, if you don't come this way. That person is only looking for money to chop food. It's not worshiping any God. The same type of people will be walking on the street the moment they see you coming and they say, hey, please, can I talk to you? And God told me to talk. Which God? Where is the God? Where did that person, how clean is that person that God is talking to that person and God couldn't talk to you yourself? How could God talk to somebody who you yourself, you saw that this person is a hungry man and God is talking to a hungry man and you who is belly full, God didn't talk to you. And the hungry man is the one going to tell you what God is telling him or her. And after they speak to you, say, so can you do something good for God? Why did they see God? Where did they see God before they are telling, God is telling them to tell you? And God didn't tell them how they will look for money and take care of themselves. So it is only hypocrites who behave in that way, and they are the ones that the Bible called the Pharisee, people who are hypocrites. Like we see in today's religious people jumping everywhere, putting placards, Jesus is coming soon, you should repent. The man who is holding that placard, Jesus is coming soon, you should repent, is waiting for somebody to pay him at the end of the day, that you take this money and go and eat at home. If he had gone to look for a job, he would have not been holding card like that. Jesus is coming soon. When was the last time Jesus came? Let's be realistic. So spirituality or the worshiping of God is a very practical and a very personal thing. You don't have to show it to the world that you are worshiping God or you are in your tradition. So MFA, that's what it is. So don't overstress yourself. God is there and God is in nature and nature is God. And you see God every day and God sees you every day. Keep your heart clean because ye are the temples of God. If you go to the book of Acts, you will see where they have written that one. That ye are the temples of God. So keep your heart clean because God lives in you. God does not live outside you. That's why African traditional spirituality talks about going back into yourself. That's why we are talking about Sankofa. Find yourself. When you find yourself, the world is a free space for you to live in. The world will be a happy place to live in. All those celebration, going to convention and dancing, going to mountaintop, all these are all bogus things. Okay, so then we have Son of the Sun 57 saying that, please, is Akom a positive or negative things? For we humans, I mean to spirit to possess we humans. You see, we call Akom Voodoo in Ewe. Spirits possess human beings. Good spirits possess human beings, and bad spirits also possess human beings. It depends on what you are dealing with. If you are dealing with a negative spirit, so the negative spirit will possess you. If you are dealing with a positive spirit will possess you. So whatever spirit possesses you depends on what you are dealing with. And if you deal with a good thing, you should expect good results. And if you deal with bad things, you should also expect bad results. So Akom, as we always we call it Voodoo or a tron or Bokor, it's a good thing in the hands of some people, and it's a bad thing in the hands of other people. So whichever you want to do with it, because knife, that's what they call krante in Akan. Yes. Dadie, iron. Knife, krante. The Englishman say cutlass in some part of British English, and then in some part they say machete. Depends on the British people who came to you. They will teach you different names, but it's the same people. Machete, or cutlass, or krante, or akpacha. Eyi, as in Ewe, is on its own. If you use it to kill people, they will catch you. If you use it, the same thing, to go to farm and make farm and food come out and people eat and they are happy, people will praise you. Krante has not done bad thing to anybody. It depends on the person who is holding it. If you hold it to use it for good thing, people will praise you. If you use it for evil thing, they will catch you. So the krante is not evil in any way, or the machete or cutlass is not bad in any way. So Akom, Voodoo, a tron, spirit, they are not bad. It is you who is, the way you deal with it, the way you use it is what will determine whether it is a bad thing or it's a good thing. Son of the Sun. That's my answer to your question. And then MFR Twister 86 says, how do we distinguish between cultural evolution and the erosion of sacred tradition? I don't know how you are going to distinguish about cultural evolution and erosion of sacred tradition. I cannot tell, because whether it is an erosion or it's an evolution, follow what is happening, and if it is happening and it's happening for good, follow it. If it's not happening for good, go and look for the good one. As simple as that. Then we have Engineer Graham KG Wilberforce laughing there. I think I might have said something that is laughable. Yeah, thank you. And then again, Engineer Graham kg Wilberforce is a full practicality. Yes, Kojo, it is very practical. And then we have MFA Twister. It is what core values does tradition teach us about morality and life? It's already there. You don't need to be taught about it. Do good and don't do bad. That's all. Nobody has actually said that this is a core value of life. You know that doing bad is bad and doing good is good. So what do you expect to see, or should be come and do this for me? What do you expect? No, here. What do you expect? To do good, everybody know what is good and everybody know what is bad. So what core value again? Don't you know that when you steal somebody's money or you took something that doesn't belong to you, it's not good? Because if someone takes yours, you will not feel good. That's all. It's as simple as that. I think a lot of times people try to lay emphasis on commandments and rules that human beings put down. The truth about life is that what you will not want your friend to do to you, do not do it to anybody. It's as simple as that, so that you don't offend your friend and your friend doesn't offend you. Because if they do offend you, you will not be happy. So why offend another person? That is all that life is. It does not have to be in tradition. It's a general thing in life. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. It doesn't have to be a tradition. It doesn't have to be a religious thing. If you put your hand inside fire and it burns you, why do you want your friend's hand to go into fire? If you bore a false witness against someone and the person has been punished unjustifiably, would you want someone to bear a false witness against you so that you can be punished? No. So what do you feel that if somebody does that to you or people do that to you, you will not feel good? Just don't do it to anybody. That's all that life is. There's nothing more, whether it is tradition or religious or whatever. These are simple things of life. I don't know why many people do not know this. They don't need to teach you how to be moral. Maybe if you born children, you are raising children, and they are growing up, and one is eating ice cream, and the other one who is not eating or not giving the ice cream runs and snatch it from the one who is eating. You as a guardian can tell them, oh, that is not the way life is. But when people grow up and they are grown up, don't they know that when they steal somebody's thing, it doesn't belong to them? Or when people are in government, the money that is supposed to be there for the whole development, and one person pocket it, or a few people decide to pocket it, and then the situation, maybe it's water that has to be treated well for people to drink, but because people wanted to steal the money, they put little chemical into the water, and the water is not properly treated, but it has been dispensed to people to drink, and people are dying. Is it not a crime that you commit against yourself and humanity? Do people need to tell you that it is wrong? Or they ask you to make a road and give you money, and then you cut down on the money, and then you make the road very, very, very in a very bad way, cheaply, and then car have accident on that road and die, and people are gone, and you are sitting somewhere sipping champagne and drinking beer, thinking that you are listen. There is something is called karma, the law of nature. It is not written by any god. It is nature who writes it. If you go against it, it will come back to you. So morality in life is not something that people have to be teaching anybody. It is very open before our eyes. You can choose to do what you want to do, but also don't forget that everything that you do, there is a reward for it. When you do good, good things will come to you. You do bad, bad things will come to you. That's why I use the analogy of a knife, cutlass. That when you use, if your cutlass is in your hand, if you use it to cut grass and grow food and people eat it. At the end of the day, people will praise you that, oh, you are a good farmer, you brought food home. If you use that same knife to attack people and something bad goes on, they will arrest you and you will be punished. So in this life, morality and all this thing does not really need to be taught to anyone, because we all know that if someone does something to us, we will not be happy. So why do it to people? As simple as that, MFR. And then we have Mr. Oreo shared our video. Thank you very much, Mr. Oreo. And then we have a GG giving question marks. I don't know what that means, but thank you for whatever that means. And then MFR Twister say, what is the spiritual significance of the snake Togbi in our tradition? We have a Togbi Dagbui, not Togbi Dagbui, which is the African golden python. That's what the people call Togbi Dagbui. And because we have a voodoo or a spirit in every traditional spirituality called Voodoo. It is actually originating from the Ewe cult or the Ewe association or the Ewe roots, because the Ewe roots is the beginning of Ewe spirituality. All spirituality that is done today in Ewe, apart from the ones that we are getting from outside, are all coming from the Ewe cult, which is the original spiritual base of the Ewe people. And inside the Ewe, I'm not initiated into Ewe, so I don't know very much about the Ewe tradition. But I know that inside the Ewe, we have the Tanda, which is Tohono, or Tanda, or at the same time, that's called So, or Hebiaso, or people call it Shango in other tradition, in the Yoruba tradition. The Akans call it Agrada or Aprada, whichever, depending on the Akan dialect. Some people say Aprada, some people say Agrada, which is the Tanda. And inside this same Ewe, we have Ade, which is the what do you call it, the spirit of the hunter, Bambufuo, or the what do you call it, Bobby something in Ga, Babylon in Ga, as Tanda, at the hunter, the warrior spirit. And we have that one in the Yoruba as Oshosi. In the Yoruba tradition of the Orisha is called the Ochosi. That is also inside this Ewe. Then we have a rainbow. The rainbow, which some people call what did you call it? The Ewes have so many different names for it. What did your mother say it is? Rainbow. I forgot. Yeah, there's a name, some people call it Anyevo. People also, there's a particular name in my locality for rainbow. But then all these things they are originating in the Ewe. And then also what we are calling Jingoli, yes. So they call it Jingoli as is in so Jingoli as a rainbow in part of our Ewe. Some people call it Anyevo, which means it is like it's like a snake. Yeah. And then we also have what people call the Mami Wata. Mami Wata is actually coming from the Sierra Leonean, the Kru language, because in Sierra Leone, the Kru people who are usually seafarers, they call water, wata. So because of that, they call the spirit of a river Mami Wata. They are just adulterating the word water for water. And even as today, you go to Sierra Leone and go to part of Nigeria, you go to some places, people call it water. Not Mami Wata. They are talking about water as water. So Mami Wata simply means mother of the ocean or mother of water. That's why the word Mami Wata became very popular. If you go back, you will see some songs written by some musicians in the Oliver the Cook, or some people say, if you see Mami Wata, never run away. Guitar Boy, which was that song, Oliver the Cook or something, was living in Ghana at that time when he that's why. But then this song goes all the way to Sierra Leone, Liberia. You see all these people. Is it Oliver the Cook or whatever? He's a very famous musician. He died recently. So that Tokosu,
Yes.
is it Oliver the Cook or Oliver?
Well, he was a Nigerian Igbo.
Yeah, but he was this time. They used to live in Ghana. So that Tokosu, which is called Mamiwata in some other languages, and people say Mermaid, are all from Yewe in our part of the world. So Togbi Dagbi, the snake spirit or the serpentine spirit, which in other cultures may be called Kundalini, as in Hindu philosophy, where the divine serpent force is lying at the base of your Muladhara chakra or your spine, that it has to go up to your Sahasrara chakra to make you enlightened and all this thing. It's also snake. And then if you go into Thai traditional spirituality, they also have these snake forces, and then like the fire nut in the Mamiwata force, and then there's a snake. This in it is in Hinduism. It is all in different cultures. So snake as a wise and a divine energy is respected in our Ewe tradition. That is why people pay respect to Togbi Dagbi, means it is like the energy of that snake that is upon the voodoo that those people worship. So the respect to Togbi Dagbi in that tradition, or the Ewe tradition, which overspill to other tradition. There are so many people who are not even inside Yewe, but we all know about Togbi Dagbi. So then if MFR Twister is saying, who is Togbi Dagbi and what role does he play in our cultural or spiritual leadership? That's what I'm talking. It is a snake serpentine force in our culture, and people believe that it is a god on its own, the divine spirit, the divine serpentine spirit, and that's why people respect it. They use the physical appearance of that particular snake to represent the divine energy of snake, which is in other cultures, as I was saying. We will see it in Hinduism as a Kula Kundalini, then also there is the seven-headed snake, all kind of different things, you know. When I was a young boy growing up, and one day I went to my father's cocoa farm, and then I saw this 3 or 4, I cannot even remember the number, but all cobras line up and make their face like this, and I was watching them. It was not a dream. I was walking, but then I wasn't scared. But such things don't happen to normal people. And these things happened to me when I was growing as a child. So I have seen these things, and before growing up to travel around the world, seeing that actually these were spirits that existed in the world, or people are dealing with in different cultures. But I had seen even with my own naked eye, not in my dream. So last week I was telling that I have this affinity towards snake, and my mother told me since I was born as a child, snakes have been coming to the room and all this, and sometimes they come on my mat and this, but they didn't bite me. And I myself, I even caught a small cobra before I brought it home, before people say, hey. And when I was living in Japan, I raised snake. I have snake with me that I feed. It was in a cage. I feed them every day. So I have that kind of likeness for snake. Not because of any spirituality, but it's just that I like snakes in that way. It's only that now that I grow up and I'm having children, that's why I'm afraid of snake. But in reality, when I didn't have children, I was okay. I was myself. So I didn't have a problem. So the Togwi Dagwi is the snake serpentine, or the serpentine divinity. That's how our people respect it. And they have the shrine of the snake. And there was a country in Africa, in West Africa, who was given the name of a snake, Dahomey. The current place that they are calling, currently they call it Beni. And I don't even know why they changed the name to Beni. It used to be called Dahomey, the home of snakes. That's the name of the country. And it has been until not too long ago that the name had been changed to Beni. But in reality, it was called Dahomey because they have the snake temple over there, and people still go there today. I remember a few years ago that French custom officials that were supposed to come and be working in Beni, they brought them, the white people, they brought them all to the temple, the snake temple in Beni, and they put a snake. They say you have to swear that if you are working, you will not steal anything, and they put the snake in their neck, and some were scared. But then you put it on your neck, and then you swear that when you are working in the office, you will not steal any money. But if you steal any money, the snake will catch you. So it was in the, maybe if we type it in the internet, we will find that the people, custom officers that were swearing by the snake serpentine shrine in Dahomey or in Beni. So at one time in our culture, that snake thing was a pride. That's why a country could be named after independence or before independence, called Dahomey, means home of snakes. So snake played a very big role in our African or Ewe traditional spirituality. They are also a force on their own. And if we should use the Bible, if the Bible is a real book and tell the truth, we may even say that the Bible said that the snake was so clever that it could deceive human beings. Human beings that God created in his own image. Snake was so smart than God. That's why it could deceive God's creation. If we come to look at it, it's a funny tale, but there's some reality in it to show that snake is a very, very powerful spiritual symbol. Even in medicine, when you see the medical, it didn't come. Me, I saw this so many years ago, but I still remember. Is it possible to project it so that people can see what we are talking about? And if you steal, you catch you. So Voodoo was a very powerful, it is still very powerful in our tradition, and it is something that we revere so much and we trust, because that snake force is in all, it's a universal energy. It is not only limited to every traditional voodoo, but you can find it in Japanese. Because even my son Sena's great ancestor I think Jimbo something. I forgot the name, but Jim is called Jimbo Naka something, who was one of the samurais who built their own castle in the olden days during the Japanese feudal time. He was a samurai, and they were the one who built the Toyama castle in Fukuoka or in Toyama. I think it's Toyama. They built a castle there. And when my son went looking for his ancestral grave or the stone on which he committed harakiri, which means committing suicide when you fail to, it's a Japanese tradition. When you fail a mission, you kill yourself. He committed a suicide at a stone, and the stone is still there. So Sena, when they went looking for that stone, it was on the map. They found it finally, and he said they saw a big snake that was running like it's protecting that area. And this is just 2 years ago they met. So snake is regarded as a spiritual force. So in our tradition also, it is revered, like in our other tradition. Even what did they say in the Bible when Moses came to Egypt and he was doing his magic, and the Egyptians too were doing their magic, and they say Moses put his staff on the ground, it became a snake and swallowed the. So if a snake is not powerful, why do they link all these powerful tales and history to the snake? So MFR twister, this is what the snake plays, or Togbi Dagbi plays in our traditional spirituality. It's a force to reckon with. And then MFR Afachi twister 86 say, what is Jokpata's purpose in maintaining justice or order in the community? Jokpata is not a community Voodoo where it has to maintain justice and order in this. Jokpata is a shrine, is a Voodoo at my shrine that I use in protecting myself and protecting my loved one and those people who got initiated with it. It is not its duty to be maintaining justice and order in the community. That's not what it is. That's not what I was told. And that's not its work. Thank you very much. Then the son of the sun, 57, said thanks. And then MFA Afachia, I always say Afachia, MFA Twister, 86 is laughing. And then Engineer Graham KG Wilberforce said, almost like karma, yin and yang. What goes around comes around. Exactly. Thank you very much. Yes, that is the same one called Anyongbo in some people say. Okay, let's go to MFA Twister. It is, how do these figures influence our lives and beliefs today? Oh, you only influence your life and belief if you are associated with it. Because if you are not associated with it and it is influencing you, you will not even know that it is influencing you or it is not influencing you. It is people who know that become aware of what the influences are. But if you are not already aware of these things, you are just living like a stone inside a river. Whether logs pass over you, or river pass over you, paper pass over you, or plastic pass over you, you are just there, you don't know anything. But if you become aware, that is when you begin to see their relevance and the influence in your life. There are a lot of people in this world who do not know why they are here. They are not interested in anything than to eat, have food, have sex, and look for a place to hide. Finish. And if they can find a way to struggle, to fight over something and take it to become theirs, that's what that they are here for. They don't know the difference between a human being and an animal. So if you are not aware of these things and you don't follow anything and you have not heard from anywhere, you will just be living like a stone in the river. Thank you. And the MFI Twister 86 says Anyambo. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. That's the same one people call Togbi Dagbi. The normal name for people who are not in Voodoo, we'll call it Anyogbo. But people who are involved into Voodoo and who knows about it, we'll call it Togbi Dagbi. Thank you very much for your beautiful, insightful questions. I'm grateful for all of them. And then we have new Wilson. Ne Wilson, say good evening, sir. Hello, Ne Wilson. Thank you for joining today's section. And then Ismail Ofai said good evening, Father. Hello, Ismail. How are you? Thank you. Thank you very much. And then, okay, Ismail has sent so many good evening, Father. And then it's another one. Ismail is saying, how are you doing? I'm good, and I hope you are also fine, you and your loved ones. Thank you very much. Are we done with here? There's none there anymore. So, okay, we are going on to YouTube, or is it African Magic Temple? So we are going on to YouTube, and we have Nolan. Say good day. I'm watching from New York, NYC. Thank you very much, Nolan. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope you are fine. Hope your loved ones are also good. And then we have Samuel Toussaint say, hello, Toby. My question is, how is it possible for my destiny to be both my God and also me? Okay, let me take that part first. Because your me is your inside. Your me doesn't have a physical presence. It doesn't have I would say it doesn't have a physical presence, because when your physical body is dead, you cannot see the me. It is when you are alive, that's when you can feel that there is a me. And that is the God. Because God is not something anyone can see, but it's the one that gives and takes. It's the one that controls and guides. So the me, which is when you want to talk to someone about you, you point to your body. But then you are actually pointing to your inner self. Your physical body is the house that houses that me. And that me is not a physical thing anyone can see. That's why it's your God, and it is you. And it is the same one that is the one that is the memory chip. That's the soul. That's the one that is your destiny. And that's the one that goes playing all the game and storing all the records. So when the physical body becomes tired or destroyed, then that one moves away until it has an opportunity again to have another body. Let me use the analogy of the hermit crabs. I don't know how many of you know what kind of crab is called the hermit crab. The hermit crab does not have a shell of its own. But when it sees an empty shell and nothing is occupying it, it will go into it and put that shell and carry it on itself. When it is growing and growing and growing and realize that that shell is no more big for it, it will exit it. But it's not going to exit it when it doesn't find a new shell. Then when it sees a new shell, it will go near and make sure there's nothing inside and slowly get out of the old shell and enter that new shell, and that new shell become bigger and it will start carrying it. So it is with your me, your soul, your destiny, and your inner self, your God. When you die, it takes another form, either to go up or to go down. And recently, most of the hermit crabs, because people are picking the empty shells from the beaches and throwing them away and all this, the hermit crabs have started using plastic containers as their shell because they didn't have any shell. But they cannot live without covering their body. So these hermit crabs move from one shell. So the same is with your soul, your inner self, your destiny, the me, the I, the atma, the consciousness, and everything. It embodies a shell, which is the physical body. And when the physical body gets tired or gets destroyed, it moves out and gets to another shell. So that's as simple as it is. Then how can we pray to destiny? Are we technically praying to ourselves? Of course you are praying. When you are praying, who is hearing you? Are you not hearing yourself? When you pray, who is hearing you? Unless, of course, when you are in church and start shouting so that other people can hear you. But when you pray in your privacy, who is hearing you? Is it not you yourself hearing you? No, let's be realistic and practical here. When you are praying, who do you pray to? You say you are praying to God, but who is hearing you? Is it not you yourself hearing you? These are not things that we have to be discussing. It is natural. It is very straightforward that it is you who is hearing yourself. That's why when you have your destiny set up for you, the moment you begin to pray to that destiny, you begin to see changes. You begin to get answers. That's why we do the destiny alignment and then setting up of the positive destiny for people. Because when you pray to your destiny or pray to your God or pray to your inner self, it is you who is hearing it. And the positivity that you want to come, and because you are hearing yourself, the positivity will come to you. And then we have a Shantavia. Is it Shantavia Williams? Shantavia Williams. Hello, my name is Shantavia Williams, born June 29, 1994. I need to know, is there something important I need to know before it is too late? Shantavia, I don't know whether there is anything important for you to know before it is too late. If you want to find out about anything, do a spiritual consultation. Then you can find out whether there's anything for you to do or nothing to do. Myself sitting on this program, I'm not here doing divination or doing consultation for people. I am only teaching people about Ewe traditional spirituality, and sometimes we drift into other spiritualities. So that's what I do here. I don't stay on this program to be teaching, doing consultation for people what is going to happen in their life tomorrow or what is not going to happen in their life tomorrow. There are certain other people who are on the social media who are conducting online consultation without knowing you physically. I am not that kind of person. If you want to do consultation, there are rules and regulations in my shrine that we follow to do consultation. We don't just ask, look at me and tell me something about me. I don't know you. How can I look at you and tell you something about you? I'm a human being like you. But if you want to consult the spirit world, yeah, there are ways to consult it. Okay, let's move up, down. Let me see if there's more under that thing apart from. That's all. But if you want to know something about yourself, Shantavia, you should book an appointment either with us or book with any spiritualist and let them do a spiritual consultation for you to give you the right answer. Thank you. Okay. So I think we are almost done. Is it? It's 7 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. So let us, what do you call it? We wait a little bit. If we don't have any question, then we can just close today's section until next Sunday. Okay, so thank you all very much for joining today's section and also asking your questions. We are very grateful. Eh? Okay, we have on African Magic Temple, we have Sena Kwame, who is asking a question. Does it matter which language you pray in? It doesn't matter as long as you can understand what you are saying. That's why people who go into the church and say they are speaking in tongue, they are deceiving themselves because they are not understanding what they are saying. Not to, even for other people, even to understand. Because if you are praying You must understand what you are saying. And if you don't understand what you are saying, then someone else must translate it and make it clear to you so that you can understand what you are saying. You can't be praying when you yourself who is saying shakara kata kata kata, you don't understand what you are saying. How will somebody else understand you? And when you ask them, they say they are speaking in Hebrew. Even the Hebrews are not understanding what you are saying. Is it not self-deceit? But people are fond of that. Just create something to fool others and take advantage of them. So you can pray in any language that you can understand. Because if you are praying and you don't understand what you are saying and it has not been translated to you, then you don't know what you are saying. What about if what you are saying is that, God, I want you to come and destroy me, if that's what you were saying? And truly, if you want to be destroyed, some spirit will surely hear it and find a way to destroy you. So if you are praying, pray in a language that you can understand. For instance, me, I am an Ewe person. I cannot understand Twi very well. But when people speak Twi, somehow I can understand some part. I cannot understand all. So I cannot say that I'm going to be a pastor or sit here and start to speak in Twi. When I speak in Twi, if me myself am not understanding, how will somebody else understand? So when you want to pray, pray in any language that you can understand. God is not from Hausa land. Our God is not from Volta region, whereby if you don't speak Ewe, but you want to force to speak Ewe. If you want to speak Ewe, then learn the Ewe language. If you cannot learn it, if you hear some word and you cannot understand, ask someone who can speak it to translate it for you. God speaks all languages because the God that speaks is what is within you. That's why I'm trying to answer Samuel 2, sir. Because you are praying to yourself. You are hearing yourself. So how can you be praying and you don't understand what you are saying? And who is hearing it then? I think, look at this Acts chapter 20 something, or Act, where they say, ye are the temples of God. I don't know whether it's chapter 20 or 8. I mean, I lost my Bible a long time ago.
First Corinthians 3 verse 16 to 17. Yeah, the temples of God.
No, it's not. It's in Acts also. It's not only Corinthians, it's a repetition. It is in Acts. You didn't bring the, what do you call it? You did not bring the UPS here. So if people can still hear us but cannot see us, there's a total blackout. The electricity company of Ghana has gone off the grid. We are in darkness now, so until the generator has started. Okay, good. We have hands on board. The generator had been started. The plant has taken off, and yeah, the Acts 20.
Isn't directly found in the book of Acts, but it's also found. It's Acts
7
verse 48.
Yeah, it's in Acts. I don't know about the Corinthians.
I'm not sure, but we'll have to.
No, I have written it down somewhere before, so I know. It's not Corinthians. That's right. So, Sena Kwame, pray to your when you pray in any language. Once you can understand what you are saying, your God is listening. Yeah. So when the inner self speaks, sometimes it speaks to you and speaks to you only. So it's the one that is hearing. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I think that's what it is. We are almost at the end of our today's section, and I thank you all. I thank you all for being here and supporting this weekly, what do we call it? Live streaming, where we teach about spirituality, teach about Ewe spirituality, Voodoo, tradition, and other things. I'm very grateful that you all been here. And Big Sister Luna Nicole on TikTok said this was a great session, Papa. Thank you very much, Big Sister Luna. I'm grateful. And then Prince Aklade said, please, how can I locate the temple and be part of it? The temple is on the Spinters Road and it has its telephone number in the profile. You can find the telephone number, call and book an appointment. We don't accept walk-in clients. Thank you very much. And then Big Sister Luran, thank you for your time and teachings, Papa. We appreciate you. I pray your strength. Thank you. I'm grateful, and we pray for your strength as well. Then have a blessed week, everyone. And that's from Luna Nicole. And you too, Big Sister, have a very blessed week. May the ancestors continue to strengthen you day in, day out. Then we have ageless, 000, wholeness and balance. Yes, of course it is. Then Luna Nicole said, oh, yes. And then Luna Nicole, when I recognize her voice, she did part of my ritual. Thank you, little sister. That's Semefa. Okay. Thank you, big sister Luna Nicole, auntie. Yeah. Then Prince Akula, they say, how can I connect with the saints? I don't know. I'm not a saint, and I don't have any connection with saints. You can connect with them, with those people who knew who the saints are. The people who know who the saints are, they will be able to connect you. I don't have any saint in my shrine, but I have ancestors. I work with ancestors. If you are talking about ancestors as saints, then you can connect with your ancestors because they are inside of you. And then Prince Aklade, I think these were the ones he came first and new here. He said, okay, my Prince Aklade. Thank you all very much. And I think I'm going to pour my last libation and then we will close today's section. And then we have Kobe Young. He said, how can I join you? African Magic Temple is not a shrine or temple that people join. I kept saying it every day. Why do you want to join? We don't have anything to join. If you have a situation and you want to find solutions to them, our number is in our system. We are not a religious body, and we are not a church, and we are not a club, and we are also not a cult. We are a shrine and a temple that teaches about our traditional Voodoo spirituality. That's what the African Magic Temple stands for. And I have seen that the Kunyueri has also joined us at the bottom. Sawadee Kunyueri stand. Sawadee Kunyueri san. Okay, thank you all, everybody, for being here today. Let's check the other places and let's see whether okay, we are done here. Okay, we are done here too. Okay, I think we are done. Okay, let me see the last prayer. What is it?
One last thing.
There's a question there. You want to check whether there's anything there?
Public relations.
Why public relations? Okay. Please blow it up a little bit so I can see. Yeah, okay, we have public relations. Hello, Papa. This is Doji. I'm lucky to be here today. May Mao Sobolisa bless you for all that you do. Thank you very much, Doji. How are you? How is business? It's been a while. I thought you said you were coming down to Africa. I wish you well. May you have a very successful week. May the ancestors and all Mausobolisa, Kitikata, Maunga Ese, and all the spirits that you work with, Brahma, Hindu, Shiva, Krishna, all be with you. Thank you very much. Akbekakaka. Yo. So we are at the end of today's section. Oh, talk me, Mama, my young man, Oyo di dipe poto yo kele menu poto zanu poto viviti menu poto o wa wudi da pa mechi ava gble e wudi preview da pe ejaka ba gbodo fi me ko achi agbodo bo sumo hala o to me do ago e me yo afana go afagbo ma jesu kokwe su pepe to no so le me e da pe afidi me yo kwali gbe meji yeku meji woli meji di meji so meji oni meji abla meji akala meji tunda meji sa meji ka meji triple meji tula meji lete meji che meji fu meji wali chetula mayo clever video kama kwa toba do bwa toba ande nyade mapo ine dilo no klemilo. God be with you all, and may the ancestors be kind to you, and may the spirits of nature open doors for you, so that this coming week will be a very fruitful one to all of you. I say we have somebody from Arabic country saying that good evening. Hello, good evening to you. I cannot read Arabic, so I cannot know your name. But thank you very much for being part here. Say, Daddy, I'm late today. Okay, who is that? I don't know, but the section is still on YouTube and it's on Facebook, and you can always revisit it. Thank you very much. And then we have Engineer Graham K.G. Wilberforce, another blessed section. Thank you very much, Kojo. I hope you are fine. Today is Leon's birthday, so you can wish her happy birthday. I haven't seen her in months, but today she came because she knows it's her birthday today, so she came. So you can wish her, your sister, a happy birthday. And then Graham KG Wilberforce say Ache, and then again Ache. Thank you, Kojo. And thank you all very much for being here today. I'm grateful to you all for your beautiful questions. And prepare your questions ahead in ahead of time, so that when you come in, you just post them and then I can continue answering them. You should all understand that I don't look into any book because I don't know what questions are people going to ask me. But everything that I have personal experience is inside this small head here. So when you bring the question, I'll be able to go into my computer inside my head and then fetch that file, and then I'll explain and try to tell you. I don't look into books and I don't read anything ahead of time. When I sit here, I sit with the energies that I work with, and then they prompt me. When a question comes, they will tell me which file I should pull to be able to answer it. Thank you all very much. And Engineer Graham Kojo Wilberforce said, I wish her already. Okay, thank you very much, Kojo. And then we are going to talk tonight. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Kojo. And thank you all very much for today. May the ancestors continue being with you. And goodbye.